Hello, friends, benders and non-benders alike. Welcome to Braving the Elements, Nickelodeon's podcast about all things Avatarverse. I'm Janet Varney.
And I'm Dante Basco. And Varney, I just have one question for you.
Yeah.
How competitive are you feeling today?
I mean, I guess it depends on what the thing is you're asking me about, whether I feel competitive or not.
I mean, are you feeling the spirit of competition?
In that is the episode that we will be talking about today. I suppose I am.
What exactly kind of competition are we feeling? Because, there's a lot of kinds of competition. There's especially in this episode, there's pro-bending competition. There's, love triangles.
Maybe.
Maybe. It's a lot, Varney. What do you think?
It is a lot, but let me see. I'm gonna make a suggestion on how we'll be able to navigate this better today, because it is a lot. I think we need another person, and I think the person that we need is a very, 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 for me personally, very, 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 very special guest. It's the voice of Asami, Seychelle Gabriel.
What's up?
Asami is in the house. Korrasami. I'm in the middle of a Korrasami situation right now. What's going on?
Yeah. We can't help ourselves. There's still a triangle, even though it's Dante.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I feel the spirit of competition in the room here today.
It's here. But in a healthy, positive spirit of competition.
Yeah, loving way.
Competition could be good.
Yeah.
Is good often. It could be bad. It could be bad sometimes.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's the kind that like crushes your soul, and then there's the kind that makes you better at whatever. And I guess maybe sometimes both. I don't know.
Right.
Well, how are you guys doing?
Oh, I'm so glad you're here.
It's good to see you.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like I'm in the middle of some situation. Like, what am I doing here? You guys, like, awkward.
Yeah, I gotta get this out of the way for everybody who wants to know this or who's heard this story before. Seychelle and I don't get to talk about this together very often, but we did know that Korrasami was going to happen before everybody else did.
Yes.
And we were brought aside by Mike and Brian when we were doing a record of like the previous season or something. And we both were so happy.
And down.
We were just like, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes, this is like the best news
It's so
ever.
crazy. I mean, of course, everyone knows I'm watching the series for the first time in chronological order, but I do know about Korrasami. I was there.
You'd have to be
I was there for the finale.
under a rock to
We
not know
watched
about
the
Korrasami
finale
at
together,
this
I
point.
think.
Yeah.
Didn't we watch the finale together?
We might have.
And so I was around for all the finale. I know how it ended. And then the biggest moment for me with Korra was, because I was really big on Tumblr in those days, the next day when the Tumblr post dropped on Tumblr, and it was just it just made Korrasami canon.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
It's a thing. I just cracked open. We had a Korrasami Reddit book.
Yes.
Which it was called the Korrasami Project.
I have it too. I've been sitting on my table right now.
And I was looking through it last night, just like, wow. Like the way that it the way this whole show kind of, extends and grows, and it's just like so amazing to read, and it makes me very grateful.
For sure.
I still feel awkward in the middle of this whole Korrasami situation. I'm just,
It's so
a lowly
good.
Fire Lord hanging out.
You're fine.
Okay, where are we at?
Well, so one of the things that I want to shout out, because this really is our second episode that we have Asami at all. We just met her in this last episode that we did with Joaquim Dos Santos, who directed the series along with Ryu.
And she came in hot.
She came in hot on her scooter.
Yeah.
Perfect hair.
It's like Charlie's Angels.
Yeah,
moment.
totally.
Perfect hair.
Yeah, it's Hollywood. Like,
Hit
perfection.
on Mako.
Yeah. Why not?
Asked him out.
How about I treat you to dinner? Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, Kwang's Cuisine.
Why not?
Look,
She
I'm
was
a
a fan.
I'm a businesswoman. I get to business.
That's true.
Stand on that business. Let's go.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But we had to get you in because I just revisiting the series, which is funny now because like I've had so much time in between the series, but also you had more time after Avatar: The Last Airbender than I had about Korra. But then we did the entire first series first. Right. So now we're like caught up in terms of like how many years have passed between things.
Right.
So for me now, I've been so immersed in the first series that coming back fresh to Korra feels like forever ago that I watched any of it at all. And it's so fun to be coming at it from this angle. I'm really critically thinking about like what makes the series so good and stuff. And I just like, you're so great as Asami, and you're so grounded, and I'm so glad, and I mentioned this a little bit with Joaquin, I think, although that might have been offline. Sometimes we even talk to each other when we don't have cameras on us. But
don't tell anybody.
I love that they cast you, and of course they fell in love with you when you did the thing that nobody talks about, the project that shall not be named. But we all have to still kind of reference it obliquely
Right.
because we do know, and they've been very open about the fact that they fell in love with you being Princess Yue in that thing that we don't talk about, and they couldn't wait to have you be a part of the show. And so I just love that they didn't cast someone who's, I mean, I'm sure you could have done it, and any number of people could have sort of done the sort of like femme fatale, like almost an Azula, like, yes, hello everyone, like I'm very rich and I'm very beautiful. And I love, and I think Asami succeeds the way she does because you are so dang likable. And you know what I mean? And just like all of that is just there, and it just feels like this is someone you can hang with. The most beautiful girl you've ever seen, who also happens to
Impeccable
race cars
style.
and you know, be this, and yet it's totally someone that you're like, yeah, I would want to hang out with this person. Like, you know, it's just really great casting.
Yeah.
You did such a great job.
Thank you. That means a lot. You know, it was my first voiceover gig, so it was
More or less same.
Yeah, I mean, it was like learning as we went, and you guys like were my role models. You know, I learned. It was just such a learning experience when I really reflect on it. And yeah.
I mean, we were I was
you.
punching the microphone when I was supposed to just be
100%.
sounding like I was punching someone. So I was.
I mean,
learning
because
how to
I
go.
think all three of us are on camera.
screen, yeah.
We're all
Yeah.
on camera actors that, you know, thankfully have gotten embraced by the voiceover community, and we've all wound up in booths. And it's a different experience. You know what I'm saying? It's like we weren't these people that are just like, we're working with some of the greatest voice actors in Avatar.
Directors,
Everybody, and we're like these on-camera actors are like, where's the camera at? But it's a learning experience as we go through it, for sure.
It is, and it's cool to get connected to that part of, you know, I was trained as a singer, and so it's like
cool.
when I started the show, it's like I was all warm from doing like choir in high school. I feel, you know, so it's like I was really connected with my voice, and then to focus my acting, you know, kind of put those two together. Was really. It happened in this project, kind of, and then I've just continued with that. But
That's great.
it's cool as a performer to work on that.
Absolutely. Let me just also drop this, because I don't know if you remember me telling you this, but I
do.
guarantee
I
you
do
have.
remember.
You do remember. You're
I
going to
don't
say that
know.
out in front.
I don't even know.
I am sitting next to two Harmonica-ists. Harmonica.
You're a harmonica player?
You ever play harmonica?
Look, I'm a little rusty, but I do play the harmonica.
Oh my God.
I didn't know you played the harmonica.
I didn't know you played
I forgot to tell you
harmonica
guys to each bring your
either.
harmonicas. That's a failure on my part.
When you
I'm
play
so
diatonic,
sorry.
chromatic, which one you?
Diatonic.
Okay, I can play diatonic, but I play more chromatic.
Oh, that's cool. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I've been studying what's a blues instrument, which
Yeah.
is cool, but I love jazz, so I'm like
Cool.
playing jazz.
We're
Dang,
gonna
you did not know that.
I have told you, but again, that's why I said
You
you're
did
not
not
going to
tell
remember.
me.
I have told you.
You did not tell
For
me.
non-harmonica
100%
people,
have.
the chromatic is the big one with the button that like
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder plays.
Yes,
It's
yes,
got all
yes,
the
yes.
like keys like a piano, and diatonic. You gotta have different
It's a diatonic
keys,
scale.
smaller.
Yeah. Harmonica of choice, which the Oscars or just
I don't know. I like the Marine Band
bands,
guys.
Honer, classic
So
Honer, classic
satisfying.
Honer.
I like
So
Honer.
satisfying.
I'm a big
Yeah,
Honer
right.
person, but I got into
you
the
know,
Oscars.
the
I got a bunch-
Germans make good harmonicas.
Yeah.
The Germans make it. You heard it here. You heard it here. This is almost going to be an all harmonica episode. Can't believe I sat on that for as long as I did.
I can't believe it.
We know that you were in the thing that we don't talk about,
Yes.
and that you were wonderful. How much did you know about the first series, and were you a fan and all that kind of stuff?
Well, I knew about it from that project, but I'd only seen the UA, you know, kind of, I think book one was my extent of my knowledge. I didn't watch it when it came out. My little brother did. And so he was more familiar with the project than I was. And then, you know, as I did that project, I learned just how popular and, you know, how much of a world it was. And so when I came into Korra, I had, and the whole series was done. So I knew it was a big thing that I had a lot of respect for. And then I was able to finish the series and come in, and you know, there's like an aspect of it that's a little daunting, because you're you know, you're like, oh, this is like, you know, it's, I don't know if it's like Harry Potter and then Fantastic Beasts. You know, it's, but I mean, this is the
legacy.
Same.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
yeah,
legacy.
100% part of the legacy.
And so that was, you know, both, I think, exhilarating and like, okay, you know, I better, you know, I better pull my weight here, you know, as best I can.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Were there episodes that you can remember? And we've all acknowledged this many times that we go from project to project, and sometimes you have to, like, you don't tell your brain to sort of erase memories, but things get overridden all the time because you have to learn a whole new world, a whole new set of dialogue. You have to build a whole new character every time you go to a new project. So it's very natural to, like, not retain a ton about doing it. But do you have any specific memories, or do you have specific episodes that you've since gone back and revisited that you just as a fan enjoy about Avatar or Korra?
Yeah, a lot of my memories, again, it's like they're not super specific. There's moments that are specific, but my most vivid memories are being in the studio with you guys, because I was shooting a TNT movie show in Canada.
Yeah.
So I did, you know, a share of my recording remotely. But when I was at Nickelodeon with you guys doing live recording, that was so insightful and fun, because you guys are all kind of like had a background in comedy too. Like you,
PJ, for sure.
Maria Bamford.
Yeah,
was there.
I didn't even know she was on it until recently. And David Faustina.
Mindy Sterling.
Yeah, Mindy Sterling.
John Michael
Groundlings.
Higgins.
Yeah, like funny people.
Faustino did Married with Children.
Faustino did Married with Children. That's a very funny show.
Yeah, and so you guys were just like, you know, improving, and I was there. I'm like, I know my lines. I know the things that I've prepared, and then y'all are like, you know, it's like this electric energy, and I was like, oh my God, this is okay. You know, but it was like cool to watch, and it was a bit disarming, which was nice.
Yeah.
And Andrea, was so, I mean, just the most seasoned voice director. And I felt very safe. And just, you know, she was like real, but like kind. And like the way that she could, you know, direct me. I have like funny memories of like learning how to do in this episode, you know, where I have to like kiss, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You got to learn how to do weird things
Yes.
where they're like, mwah, you know, or like weird stuff like that.
Or have food in your mouth. There's a lot of stuff in this book where I feel like Korra's taking a bite of something.
There are good noodles.
Yeah, or like you make an exclamation, and I remember them being like, Seychelle, that sounded a bit suggestive. Can you, you know, and I was like 18, like turning red, like, oh my God, you know, learning. So I remember like, it's just funny, I remember moments. I remember PJ, the way he said water, because he was
just talked about this at a con. They said, what was the most, did you have anything that was really stressful or hard? And I was like, honestly, zero. And I said, the only thing I can think of, say it, tell.
He said water, you know, water. Like
water.
he's from Jersey.
Water.
He said water, and they're like water benders.
And it's still in there.
It is
still in there.
I'm just not sure how my earth bending would translate to your water bending.
He smoothed it out a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's still like, I didn't realize you were a water bender.
But I remember them saying water.
Water.
PJ.
Water.
Yeah, you know, one of my favorite Asami episodes, I think, there was like wasn't it like a stakeout or like on a boat?
You don't have to remember because we haven't got there yet.
You know, I don't. Yeah, but I liked that. That was a really fun. You know, when Asami like got to lead certain missions and stuff, that was like always exciting. And I do remember her and Mako's first date.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was like, and they all have different vibes. I remember Brian teaching me who Henry Rollins was.
Oh,
Black
sure.
Flag?
Yeah, and he was like, do you
Yeah.
know who Henry, I was like, I don't know who that is. He goes, oh, do you know Black Flag? I was like, oh yeah, I know Black Flag. And he goes, he's the lead singer.
Lead singer.
Yeah. And I remember him in the waiting room.
Yeah.
You know, he had a very like powerful,
That's right. Henry Rollins is in the
stoic
To
season.
hear. Yeah.
I mean,
he was he's and he's so nice and
Yeah.
What
funny.
does he play?
They put him in the back. Remember they put him in the back, like furthest
Yeah.
away
Yeah.
booth behind us. So we like couldn't really see him. You just sort of feel him back there.
He had a big presence.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Kind of scary, but he's a nice guy. You see him in interviews, so nice and so
He's
intelligent.
and he's funny. He loves comedy. He's a comedy nerd.
But he has that Black Flag kind of
Yeah.
like
He knows
straight edge
he can
presence,
he can
straight
switch
edge.
into that. He's in that mode,
Like,
and you're like,
he
I don't
might
want to make him
punch
mad.
me in the face, that guy.
It's powerful. It's very powerful.
Yeah, makes for. I mean, he
It's
was
very
a
true.
great casting for a very interesting character.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah, things are.
I'm
things
not
are gonna
there
get,
yet.
Things get interesting.
I didn't remember he was
They were
Russian
already
now.
interesting, but they get interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
You're gonna like it.
You're definitely gonna like it. You're definitely gonna like it. Okay, did you know this? And I only know this because of the art books. We found out that Asami was supposed to be a baddie.
I do
Right?
remember. I mean, she was a baddie.
She was a
but-
baddie.
She was a baddie, but she's supposed to be an adversarial
She was supposed to be.
person.
Yeah,
Yes,
she was
yes.
supposed to be. And then they were like, oh, she's so great. We got to just. Like,
I think
we
when I
gotta keep her in it.
auditioned,
Yeah.
that was how it was pitched to me.
Yeah, I'm
I
sure it was.
believe.
It would totally
It's
make
like,
sense.
I mean, I should look back. That would be interesting in my emails, or if that's there. But
Am I the villain?
yeah, no, it was like
That's what he thought too.
I thought I was the villain too.
I don't think I was supposed to last the whole series either. Like, I think she was supposed to, I don't know, have an arc, and it was supposed to be adversarial.
Yeah.
Kind of, trying to foil the team.
Yeah.
But something changed early on, I think,
Yeah.
where that just didn't happen, and the rest is history. But
the rest
Yeah,
is history.
that's what I was saying to Joaquin in the last episode, because it's my first time watching it's like this, and I said the fact that I know the ending, I know, but I didn't know that. You're watching, this girl could just be here for a hot second.
Yeah.
It didn't.
She could be the femme fatale who like upsets the cabbage cart,
I
so
didn't
to
know
speak.
she's gonna be part of the gang. She could just be
Yeah.
like totally screwing
She could
Mako
just
over.
or be something for
Korra.
Korra to be stressed out by,
Yeah.
and like just have her be like,
Yeah.
that's somehow that character is just the vehicle to take us to blank
To-
with Mako and Korra. And it is so much more than that. And I think that was another thing that they use as an example is not just Korrasami, but also just Asami in general is like, you have an idea of what a character is, and then you're
Right.
writing, and the characters start to tell you who they are.
yeah.
And I think
That's
also
cool.
the people who are playing the characters and like the way all of that sort of unfolds becomes this thing that's for the writers. Of course, there's an immense craft to it, and of course, there's like immense storytelling that has to happen. But that when you're in the development process, and you are writing, that there's these things that happen where you're like, they're telling us who they are, and they're telling us where they're going, and we kind of have to write to that
Yeah.
instead of trying to push them in a direction that
Isn't-
they don't want to go.
Isn't that always us as like actors coming to guest on some other series? That's always our dream. Like, that this character, there's so much more happening
Yeah.
with this
I could see
character
coming back. I could see
after
coming
you
back.
guys cut and that happens. But he does so much more stuff.
Yeah, let's have lunch. I've got a whole
Do you
backstory
not
I need to tell
know
you
what
about.
this guy's doing?
It's so embarrassing, and it's so true. Everyone could be the one where
He's
it's like, I don't
so
know,
much
just kept-
more than just that guy that
He's
did
so
that.
much more than just taking this order at this
I mean,
restaurant.
come
We always are.
on. We always are. You as actors, we build
Rich
all this
inner life.
backstory, and then they're like, "That's enough, thank you."
Yeah.
But no,
Not with Asami.
not with Asami. Asami
with
was
Asami.
more.
Yeah.
Who do you ship? Baby, you're my forever girl.
Who do you ship? What's your favorite ship? Relationship
Or it
ship?
could be a couple ships. Could be a ship from the first series. Could be a ship from the
yeah.
second series.
I mean, you have a legendary ship, but
So
outside.
the whole thing?
Yeah, anything.
I liked Varric and Julie.
I know. We
I
love
liked
Varric and
them,
Julie. That's a
'cause-
great couple. I see some fair amount of
Do
cosplay
you? Yeah.
of Julie and Varric together.
Varric cracked me up. Like
Such a great
I know
character. You don't even know yet.
I don't even know what's going on.
Oh,
The only Julie I know is Julie.
Yeah.
There's a different Julie who's,
Judy. You're
That's
thinking of
Judy.
Judy, not Julie.
Julie. So I can't wait to meet Varric and Julie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a wacky man who could be very, I'm sure, grating, but also I love him. I think he's so
Agree.
funny.
Hard agree.
And Julie is just a tireless worker who. It's really the ball's in her court. That's right. But I do. When that happened, it just warmed the cockles of my heart.
Yeah. Agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want anyone to worry. I think we know that we're with Korrasami shippers, so I don't know that.
Yeah.
there's
Oh
like
yeah.
a
Yeah.
whole
I
lot
know.
of-
I mean that's
She's like that's a
That's a
foregone
given. We all
conclusion
ship
why we're
Korrasami.
talking
Yeah.
about this.
Korrasami.
And then for the first series, do you like the canon of like Aang and Katara kind of ending up together?
Yeah.
And
You
being
Just
a
bring.
couple,
Why
or,
are you bringing things up?
or Zuko
Are you
and
just bringing
Katara
things
is
up for
also
no
a very
reason?
popular
For
ship.
them?
People wanted
Ooh,
Zuko and
Zuko and
That's called the
Katara.
Zutara
Zutara
ship.
ship.
Very
Zutara's
big
a
ship.
controversial ship.
Yeah.
Not really. It's a very beloved ship.
Yeah.
Unlike Korrasami, it's not canon. But
not canon.
and very, very much reinforced not canon by our fathers.
Yeah,
but
our two dads. Your two dads.
other writers were very much shipping.
I feel like that would be
Yeah.
an intense, passionate
Agree.
relationship.
It could be toxic too. I mean,
Right.
rewatching
Yeah.
it again, I was
You know.
like, she's a
It's
handful.
like
She's a
they're-
handful.
Oh, you're saying she's a handful.
I'm just saying.
That's where the toxicity would come from. That's where it would
I
come
mean,
from.
both of it.
Some headstrong characters coming together.
Yeah, Zuko's super easy. Katara's the one that would
Easy
make it difficult.
peasy.
No.
Yeah, I
Easy
like
peasy.
Aang and Katara because you see it from the first episode.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
get it.
you know.
I get it.
I like Zuko and May too. I mean,
Zuko and May's
May
also
is
cool. Zuko and May's also
delightful.
cool.
And she's
Raspy.
just like, I hate this. And he's like, I also
They're a
hate
cool
this.
couple.
And they're like, I
They're a
love
cool
you.
couple.
And
Yeah.
I love you too. That's very
And
fun.
we never saw them again. They left and we never saw them.
But we do love May.
We
Shout
do
out
love
to May.
Shout out to May. Animal Crossing.
Hybrid animals. Animal hybrids, very famous in the Avatarverse. Do you have animal hybrids that you especially like?
Yeah. Can I name two?
Please, you can
Okay.
name as many as you want.
Okay. So I mean, I'm sure this has been named before, but is it the lion turtle? Is that the one with
Yeah.
the cities and stuff?
Yeah.
on top of them?
Oh, yeah.
I am like
Fascinating.
Yes.
Oh, I'm blown away by
I
that.
love
I can like
Cities
in the
on
art
top of
books.
them.
Yes.
It's so
Yeah.
cool.
It's very
Yeah.
spiritual. He's the original
very,
Avatar,
very
isn't
spiritual.
Yeah.
he? The original something.
Yeah.
Spirit animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like it was like it was a spirit animal.
It's-
And
Still
it
blows
teaches
my
and
mind.
and that's where the original bending of the energies
Right.
before you bent your
Right.
element, you sort of bend your soul, you bend your
Right.
energy.
Era before the Avatar, we bent not the elements, but the energy within ourselves.
OG.
It still boggles my mind when you
on.
said the animal with the cities on top. I was like, oh yeah.
The islands, the whole island
crazy.
that Aang was on turned out to be a lion turtle.
It's so
It's so
cool. It's
cool.
living. You know,
Yeah.
it's like it
Fast.
it
Yeah.
makes you think about
Yeah.
the earth we're on.
Universes.
Living,
Universes
you know?
kind of overlapping into each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I don't know much about Shintoism, but like the idea even that there's, you know, spiritual energy in nature.
Absolutely.
And that you honor that and that you can commune maybe with
Yeah.
it or, you know, learn. But it's I think that's so, and the way it's designed is
Yeah.
like just insane to look at.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
the one that I feel like speaks to me very personally is the frog squirrel. It's
Frog squirrel.
I feel like I'm a frog squirrel. But it's when I see it, I'm like, that's me. But I love that. But that's also from I think one of my favorite Korra episodes that I don't even think I'm in.
I haven't met the
Yeah.
frog squirrel yet.
You haven't met the frog squirrel? You haven't met the frog squirrel.
It's
yet.
not in there for long. It's a swamp animal, and it's in.
I can't wait to meet him. I've always been partial to frogs growing up.
You
so.
do love frogs. That's
do
right.
love
We
frogs.
talked
Why do you
about
like
that.
frogs?
I don't know. I've always had I have frogs around my house. I don't know. I like frogs.
Yeah, they're
Frogs are
cool.
supposed to be lucky too, aren't they?
Are
A
they?
frog is maybe something that's kind of revered and good luck.
My parents have like hundreds. They have a creek by their house, and there's like every night all these. There's like a symphony of frogs.
I do
It's
love the sound
really
of
cool.
yeah. Sometimes like there's a place in Hawaii where you go and like the frogs are it's so overwhelming that you can't stay there very long.
Really?
You're like,
Wow.
oh,
I have like
need
toy
to like
frogs
plug my
in my
ears.
house. Toy frogs, statues
Yeah.
of frogs around my house.
Yeah, little frogs.
But I think also as a kid, it's one of the animals you can catch.
Oh, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
It's hard to catch other animals to like really touch them and play
Just gotta
with
catch
them.
the right one. Yeah,
But the frog you could get, and we would catch a frog for a little bit.
we do that camping and stuff too.
can't
The little
catch-
tiny
Yeah.
ones.
You gotta be gentle
Other
with
ones you
them.
can't catch other animals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get a lizard, a horny toad. We used to have little horny
You
toads.
might be able to
when
catch
I-
a lizard.
It's not the best name of an animal, but cute
Horny
little.
toad. I know
Yeah.
horny toads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that
And Arizona.
episode slaps. It's
Okay, I can't wait to meet this frog squirrel.
Yeah.
I just
Gotta get back to the swamp.
that when Korra is should I not spoil things?
Foreshadow report is like you're sort
Foreshadow
of
report,
making
okay.
a tiny bit vaguer reference.
I know how it ends. It's okay.
Yeah.
Foreshadow report.
But she's gonna meet someone from the past.
Who is?
Cora's gonna meet someone.
What?
A
Yes.
really important person.
she couldn't connect her
Yes.
past.
Just I think you know this without realizing that you know this.
Okay,
But yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It's a
love
great
the Frost
episode.
World. Great choice. Great choice.
What kind of bender would you be?
I don't know if I want that kind of power.
If, not to say that you would need to be, because we know that Asami is a total badass without being a bender, but if Seychelle were a bender, is there one of the 4 elements that you feel
question.
would be most likely that you would end up being the bender of?
Well, there's one, I guess, what I'd be likely, but I also, the one that I want.
Yeah, I feel like there's 2 different answers for me in a sense.
It's,
but yeah.
I have always gravitated to earthbenders. I don't know why exactly, but maybe because I love Toph. I love,
Oh, heck yeah.
I love the Kyoshi Warriors. I love
Yes,
Boomy. Like,
yes.
all of
Great,
these,
Bolin, the
awesome,
humor,
very
like
cool.
it's like
They're cool.
they're strong, but
Yeah.
but they have humor. It looks
They're cool, Seychelle. They're all right.
he's always a little bit
I like
disappointed
them.
when
They're
someone says that they don't say fire.
cool. And what's your other one?
Okay, so that's
What's
the one
your
you
other
got drawn to.
That's the one I'm drawn
You're
to.
drawn
that
to.
I like. I think the one that
However-
however, I feel like personally, I'm a maybe more either air or fire. I'd say air because my dad studies Ayurveda, and
Ooh.
there's these things called doshas,
Yes,
which is like
yeah.
and it's like you are kind of associated with an element, and it's fire, earth, and air. They don't have water because everyone I think has water.
Yeah.
But I've always kind of been associated with the Vata air because
Yeah.
it's kind of
Very
you know, a dry, like in your kind of busy mind, and
see
you know,
it. I
and
can
so
see
I
it.
like to meditate, and I like a lot of the kind of the philosophies in the air kingdom and
Yes.
stuff, and so in my personal life, and so that's. I feel like I live a more airbender life.
Yeah, I think that makes
like it.
sense.
I
That
dig
tracks
it.
for me.
I can
That
dig
tracks
it.
for me.
What are you? What's I'm
Fire
curious.
Nation forever, Seychelle. Fire Nation forever.
He'll never. One day,
Janet?
you know what's gonna when I'll know the world is about to come to an end, for better or for worse. The day that he comes in and he's like, I think I might be a waterbender.
No!
I
If
will
there
be
was
like,
another
what
element,
has happened?
I mean, Earth too. I also, Earth,
Yeah.
I'm definitely earthy.
I'm
definitely
between
earthy.
earth and water for sure. And I think for the same thing, it's me like I want to be earth, but I have no issue being water. 100% no issue.
Yeah.
But
There's
I
a lot of
love
fire in
earthbenders.
Korra. A lot of fire.
No, Korra for sure.
Tons of fire.
Korra's so
Fiery.
I feel like
Yeah.
the firebenders, like it looks the coolest to
It does
me.
look
Yeah.
cool.
It's
but-
the coolest, like
It's real flashy.
yeah.
yeah,
Get that
it is
lightning going.
flashy.
Get some blue fire in
The
there. Some
lightning.
blue
I'm
I'm not big
fire.
into lightning. I'm not that big into lightning.
Wait, was lava Earth?
Earth?
That
Lava's
was
Earth.
but there's like
I know, but
fire.
fire
Well,
is
then,
involved.
that's what's cool when they start to
It's-
sort of
it's like
fold
Yeah.
together. It becomes very interesting for sure.
fire
Yeah.
and earth.
And
yeah.
swamp is kind of like that too, because it's like
It's like earth,
Earth
and
and
water.
water.
Yeah.
Well, they say like
I think I might
they
be a
say
swamp
like,
vendor.
They say
Yeah,
like
I could relate
water
to that.
Yeah.
nourishes the earth,
Yeah.
but also could be muddy.
Yeah. It
You
can make you
know?
muddy. It can make you muddy.
But then the lotus grows from the mud.
Oh, we
The
love
lotus
the
grows
lotus.
from the mud.
Maybe I am a swamp bender because I think that is like my favorite thing in the first series.
Those
is-
swamp benders are your
is the-
favorite thing?
Not the swamp benders that
Not
like
the
want, not the ones that want to
swamp
like
benders.
eat Appa.
Everything. Yeah.
No, but the swamp
loincloths?
monster who tells Aang about connecting with the roots of the
Oh, yeah,
trees
yeah,
and how they all
yeah,
connect.
We all have the same roots, and we are all branches of the same tree.
And then he says,
So
"Time
cool.
is an illusion, so is death." Oh,
Time is
I
an
can't get through it.
illusion.
Come
I
on.
can't get through it without crying.
Come on.
That is like
It's deep,
a
yeah.
game changer for any of us who have lost someone, any of
Yeah.
us who wish that we could get time back or anything like that. Like being told that is
Time
like
is an illusion.
it changes it can change everything. It can change the whole way that you walk through life or that you deal with loss. All of that is like so powerful.
Yeah.
But don't eat Appa. You know what I mean, guys? Don't eat Appa.
He didn't
Just,
do anything
You didn't
to
need to
you.
eat. You don't need to eat Appa. You're fine.
Quip or Cabbage? Sorry, Cabbage.
Let's do our little. We've been doing something with our actors. This is
yeah.
fairly fresh and new because it's first time this season, and we haven't had a ton of performers in yet. But we have a little game we like to play called Quip or Cabbage.
Okay.
The question
Quip or
being:
Cabbage?
is the quote a real Asami quote, or is it Cabbage? All due respect to Cabbage, the Cabbage merchant. Is it just a pile of cabbage, which means it's not a real quote?
Right.
Will you read
So am
these?
I reading the
Yeah,
quotes?
will you read
Okay,
these?
My so
cabbage.
We're gonna
I'm
test
gonna give you 3 quotes and you tell us which one Asami did not say.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the quote number 1. What about Korra? No better muscle than the Avatar.
Great.
There's quote number 2. People usually assume that I'm daddy's helpless little girl, but I can handle myself. And then there's quote number 3. My mother and I are very close. We go shopping every Thursday. Which one do you think it is? Anyone?
I think the cabbage is the number 3.
Yes.
What about Korra? No better muscle than the Avatar. People usually assume that I'm daddy's helpless little girl, but I can handle myself.
But Asami did like her clothes.
She's a fashion icon.
Yeah, she
is a
really
fashion
is.
icon.
She's a fashion icon. And I like seeing Asami cosplayers out there in the world.
I love
Really
I
great
never knew how
Asami.
much I love purple, red, and green together.
Yeah.
Until
Yeah.
Asami.
The like cloak.
The cloak.
It's
So
that's
cool.
purple,
The
red, and
glove,
green.
the
That's
hair, the
so
glove.
Green eyes.
it's very good.
Yeah, really, really good. Okay, well, you got it. You definitely nailed it. That 100% was not that.
How many times has your non-bender kiddo said these words?
Why do benders get to have all the fun?
Parents, don't despair. Your little one may never be a pro-bender, but they'll proudly wear the title of Pro-Belcher. Cabbage Corp's patent-pending Pro-Belcher Kit has all the technology your child needs to become a fierce pro-belching competitor. Helmet, knee pads, and box of air. They'll burp their way to the finals with a Pro-Belcher Kit. Replacement air sold separately.
Shout out to the belching scene.
belching.
Shout out to the
box
Korra
of
and
air.
Bolin.
I would have belched right there if I could do it, but I'm not that good of.
I'm not bad at it. Wait.
Oh,
Here we
please,
go.
please.
Can we sample this?
As if we needed Seychelle to be any cooler or more down to earth.
There you go.
Little wet. It was a little wet.
That was good.
It was good. I could not belch. They asked me when that scene was going on. I was like, listen, it is not a matter of like dignity.
No.
I have zero
I-
dignity.
yeah, I'm not
I have zero
good at
shame. I
belching
cannot
either. I'll
belch.
chew either.
I will swallow the air and then I'll feel sick.
I
And I
know.
won't be able to get it back out again. So what we found out was that Brian Konetsko and then Justin, our sound
They're good
engineer,
belchers?
we love our Justin, they belched the
Really?
belch scene. They belched
So
for
good.
us. They had to come in and we had to have
I can see
stunt
Justin.
belchers.
I can see Justin belching for
Yeah,
sure.
they
Brian,
do.
I'm
Belch
a bit
double?
surprised, but
Yeah.
Justin, you're definitely.
Yeah, we had belch doubles. We had belch stand-in doubles. We've been asking our guests to, not unlike the great Jeff Bennett, who voices Shiro Shinobi in
Yes.
Legend of Korra, he provides many, many recaps of the previous episode to bring us
Iconic.
up to speed.
Iconic.
Do you think you have your own version of Shinobi in you to give a recap of the last Korra episode we talked about, which I believe was The Voice in the Night? And if you do, we have it up on this little screen that we
give us
popped up
Yeah,
for you.
I mean,
Let's see if you want to give it a shot. How do you
Yeah,
feel?
there it's
Let's
I think
go.
there's
Okay.
something in there.
Okay, great.
Whew. So we're just going out.
just like-
jump
just
in.
leap
Jump
into
in,
it.
Seychelle.
He just comes in kind of here.
Yeah, I like that. I love
It's kind of.
amazing warm up.
Turning on the Avatar Korra is hit by fear-driven dreams about a Mon. Mako is hit by a moped driven by a dreamy Asami. Tenzin is hit with resistance by a driven councilman Tarlok and his dreams of political power. All this hitting, dreaming, and driving leads to a swanky party where everyone looks really swell. Then swanky Tarlok swells up Korra's hubris, leading her to join his task force party. But will it succeed?
I am so
Yay.
sorry to
Bravo.
anyone else we had do this. I think you might be on. You
Loved
might be
it.
in first place right
Loved
now.
it. I
Trip
loved
myself out
it.
because he does some like rolling of R's. I feel like
Yeah, there might be
and
like
it
some.
didn't-
That was beautiful.
I
It
really
leads
went
me to
crazy
believe,
on
did
the-
people talk like
I went
that back
crazy
in the
on that.
day? Did we just walk around talking like that back in the day?
Did you remember to pick up cabbages?
Yeah, when you
Like,
watch
how
old
you
movies,
doing?
you're
Are
like,
we
is
all-
that?
I think
Is
it's
this how we
I think it's an
talked?
affectation,
Isn't that
but maybe it's not.
That's
Maybe there are certain people that talk like that.
Yeah. For my book report, here in the 3rd grade, I read about Lassie. Maybe. Maybe. That was on point.
Thanks, it was
That
fun.
was on
I
point.
could do that for a long
I
time.
mean, I think
That was,
she's, I
I
think
liked
she's
it.
taking
It was
I
pretty
think
good.
she's taking
It was
it.
pretty good.
Shout out Shinobi.
Oh,
That
shout
guy's
out.
iconic.
Shout out. Okay, so the spirit of competition we know all these episodes were written by Mike and Brian. They were directed by Joaquim and Ryu. This is an episode in which we see a lot of drama. We see a lot of drama. You said it when you asked me how I was feeling. There's love triangle stuff happening. Then we introduce Asami into it. Then we've got all the crazy stuff that's happening with the bending and Amon, and there's just a lot going on. There's a lot going on.
Yes.
Can they keep it together?
And everyone's pretty new to each other. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
fifth episode, right?
Yeah.
So
That's
it's like
right.
they're still figuring each other out.
That's right. Only Mako and Bolin have like
Right.
the
They're
rich like
brothers.
history,
But
which
that also leads to drama.
but it also can lead to
Brother
drama.
That also
Yeah.
leads to drama.
They
I'm a brother.
They ain't
They're-
trying to hurt each other though. You
They
know
ain't
what I
trying,
mean?
but you're gonna hurt each other.
This is a person with many brothers, just so you know.
I know, it's
always hurt
horrible.
the one you
I thought about some bad brother stuff.
Oh no.
I got a brother too.
No, I took a girl to prom that my little brother really liked.
This stuff is resonating
sorry,
for
brother.
this one.
Sorry, D.
That's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy, for sure. That's what I thought about when I saw the episode. I felt so bad. That's rough, buddy.
Yeah, we're not always making the best, most long-term, thoughtful, unselfish choices when we're teenagers.
No.
That might not be the time
Or
where
20s,
we're at our
honestly.
very best,
Yeah.
or 20s. Our brains are still developing.
Right.
We have a lot of hormones. We're feeling our feelings,
Things
and it's
happen.
hard to step out of your own feelings and think about other people's feelings sometimes.
Because you're feeling it all for the first time.
You're feeling it all for the first time.
What is this?
It's a lot.
There's a lot going on in this episode.
There's a lot going on in this episode. So one of the things that happens is that we get advice from Pema, I believe. It's Pema, right? Who tells
Right.
Korra. She kind of understands from Jinora, and by the way, I also love that Jinora, I've said this before, but I love that Jinora and Iki are giving relationship advice to Korra.
So
like,
good.
you're probably not in a great place if like two
No.
very young girls are
No.
like, let me break it down for you, Korra.
No.
So Pema steps in and she kind of talks about her. We find out more about her history
Wow,
with
she-
Tenzin and
she
about her
said
being an
she-
heir acolyte and that
Kinda
maybe
stole
he was
from another guy. Another girl. She said she kind of
She kind of
stole him from
A little
another.
bit of that.
She said something like, I got him back.
Watching my soulmate spend his life with the wrong woman became too painful. So I hung my chin out there and I confessed my love to Tenzin. And the rest is history.
yeah. And then Tenzin I think qualifies that later. But so she's like,
That's
but
so
you know you gotta act on your feelings, right? You gotta tell people how you feel. And I want to just quickly point this
That
out too.
idea.
This is such a great I love this. This is again another moment from the art book, but Brian there's this whole idea that like Brian had sort of said he wanted something that would reflect like if he's like imagining Korra as a very little girl, like if she liked a boy, she would probably just go up and punch him.
Yeah.
Right.
And then if Mako liked a girl, he would pretend like she didn't exist.
Right.
And how do those two energies work together when you're just a little bit older? And like,
same way.
and so
Exactly
that's
the
the
same
kind
way.
of relationship they're building out of the kind of Mako and Korra of it all. And so we have this moment where Korra's like, she's gotten a piece of decent advice. It's
don't know how
not bad
decent it was.
advice.
No, not great advice.
There's a time and a place, you know.
And you kind of have to know, might need to read the room of whatever dynamic you have with this person to know if it is the right thing to do.
It's one thing to say it.
Yeah,
Then what else? Then I mean,
I know. All right, should we look at it? You want to
Yeah,
look
yeah,
at
yeah,
Korra?
yeah, yeah.
Let's look at Korra, so we'll say coming clean with Mako after a game.
Wow, we were really connecting out there in that ring.
Yeah.
This is such a great example of,
the two of us have been
yeah.
connecting really
You're
well
like, my
out of the
opportunity,
ring,
my
too."
window. He opened it up.
So I was thinking we should spend some time together.
We've been spending lots of time together.
I mean, outside of the gym, and not while searching for kidnapped family members or fighting chi blockers.
I don't know. Asami and I are...
Look, I really like you, and I think we were meant for each other.
No.
He literally turns his back on her, y'all.
This is
I
awkward.
don't feel the same way about you.
Forget I ever said anything.
Grimace
Coming in
emoji.
hot. That's not good.
Congratulations, guys. You were so amazing out there.
Oh.
She doesn't
kill
know.
me.
It's not Asami's fault.
The layers.
It's not Asami's fault, you guys. It's not Asami's
Not
fault.
a some. Here you go. Little brother.
You and me, we
Swooping
could
in.
go get some dinner together.
Lily.
He's so
Sort of a
clueless. He has no idea.
Situation.
Oh, that's really sweet, but I don't think so. I don't feel very date-worthy.
Are you kidding me? You're the smartest, funniest, toughest, buffest, talentedest, incrediblest girl in the world.
You really feel that way about me?
I felt that way since the moment I saw you. Trust me, I know we're gonna have so much fun together.
Oh,
You know what?
Bolin.
I could use some fun.
It's not. All right.
So
Could
nice.
use some fun.
All right.
Who's the luckiest guy in the world?
All right. Here's the thing.
Mako. Those
Yes, sir.
eyebrows, Mako. Mako.
Good eyebrows.
He's not loving that. Okay. Here's
That's
the thing.
rough, buddy, for Korra for sure.
I just want to say again in defense of Korra because I love Bolin so much, and I
Great.
do. No one wants to see Bolin get hurt.
No, but the
She
age,
is not trying to hurt
She's
Bolin
not. She's not. And it's
to
not-
get back at Mako.
No, it's definitely not that.
She isn't.
And Asami has nothing to do with it. She's just doing her thing. But it does conjure up, when you think about Bolin, the age-old thing. Nice guys finish last. You look at it like, you're looking at the nice guy and you're like, he's going to finish last.
Yeah.
He's about to, this is the beginning to the end of finishing last. And it sucks.
I know. And I will say, Korra's not trying
She's
to
not.
hurt
She
gave him a
Bolin.
chance.
She gave him a chance.
Yeah.
But
And actually, I feel
she's
something.
not
I
thinking
feel
clearly.
something. There's
She's
a possibility.
Not 100%.
That's why she was like,
And
like
we've had that. We've had that, right? We've all had a situation where we've been maybe on both sides, like in different situations, where you have such a great friendship with someone, and you're like, "What if we dated?" Do you know what I'm talking about?
What if we just made
I
out right
have
now?
so much fun. What if
This is
we're
gonna
meant
be
to?
horrible.
And then it's like not.
yeah.
And maybe
I
the one
mean-
person thinks, yeah, this is working. And then the other person's like, oh, like I've been on both sides of that.
Feel it.
I
Yeah.
know.
I've been on both
yeah.
sides of that where you're like, okay, the friendship is, I guess maybe that's is
Yeah.
where we should keep this. But maybe someone gets more hurt than the other.
Always.
And like, yeah,
Always.
and
it's
she
usually
feels
the nice
so
person.
bad.
It's
She
usually
feels
the
so,
nicer of the people.
and then he cheers
The
her
nicer of the
up.
two people are the ones that really get hurt.
Right, but sometimes you're the nice person, sometimes you're the mean person.
Sometimes, no, but sometimes you're the nice person. Yeah, no, sometimes you're the nice person, sometimes
I've
you're
been
the
on both
mean
sides.
person,
I've been
for
on both
sure.
sides.
100%.
But
I'm glad she gave him a chance, though.
they have a great time together.
And you know, it's nice seeing Korra so vulnerable in that whole scene.
Well, what's worse is it's his brother. It's not some guy. That's just some dude that bought her a drink at a club. That
Right.
We don't know.
Well, wait,
It's
who's
my
its-
brother.
Well, wait, which person are you upset for right now? I
For
don't even know.
Bolin was
Oh,
with
okay.
his brother.
Yeah, because Mako gets jealous right away.
Well, Mako!
Immediately.
Mako's,
Like, okay, Mako.
Immediately.
Mako got pretty boy problems. You know what I'm
It's-
saying? I got
this is
too
what
many
it is.
Well said.
girls. I got
Yeah.
pretty boy problems.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
It's like
it's the brows.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's got Asami. He doesn't want to mess that up. But like he also doesn't. He clearly is like, just because I don't want to date Korra doesn't mean that I'm comfortable with my brother dating
You
her.
can't date Korra
Yeah.
Bolin. I'm not going to date her, but you
Exactly.
definitely can't date her.
Which, by the way, the only reason that any of them know each other is that Bolin saved Korra from getting in trouble when she
but
snuck
that
into the
doesn't-
arena.
This is big brother privilege.
I hate it. I don't care for
Do you
it.
know about big brother privilege?
We should normalize talking about Big Brother privilege.
Yeah, there we go.
Actually,
Let's-
I'm a big sister, so I
Yeah.
can't really talk about big sister privilege. So
Talk about Big Brother
But-
privilege.
I'm just saying
You're a middle kid.
I'm
so
a
you
middle
got-
kid, so
you
I'm
got
a
it and
big
you don't
brother
have it.
and a little brother. But the big brother privilege, there's hierarchy of what goes on, and obviously Bolin's on the lower of the hierarchy, and you have to do what Big Brother says. It's not for you. This is not for you. Avatar's not for you, Bolin.
I don't think that Bolin has any intention of listening to his big brother.
What do you think of Korra in a girlfriend sort of way?
She's great. But I think it makes more sense for me to go for Asami.
I was talking about a girlfriend for me. Leave some ladies for the rest of us.
He's a casualty of war.
But he's so. But I said this in a previous episode. But he's so sweet and
No,
funny,
he's
and
great.
I said I think we could all learn something from Bolin, which is
Yeah.
that he lets himself have his feelings.
Yeah.
But he is a natural. Like, what is your natural
pure.
level? Where's your natural level? Where do you naturally float? And Bolin naturally floats with like life is good
Yeah.
and things are
Yeah.
gonna be okay, even though he came from nothing and he's gone through some really hard stuff. He sort of goes back to a level of like his natural place to live is like
Right.
life
Cool.
is amazing.
That's-
Isn't life cool?
That's
This is
classic.
nuts.
That's classic little brother energy.
Fair enough.
That's what Mako needs.
Fair enough.
But he's the purest. He's the purest soul. You know what I'm saying?
Bolin, yeah.
Bolin, Bolin. So.
I love Bolin.
And he loves a noodle, and I
He
love
loves a noodle.
We love
We
a
all love
noodle.
Bolin. He doesn't get the
mean,
Avatar.
I mean, yeah. And then poor Asami.
He
she
shot
just
his
comes
shot
in.
though.
But
He shot his shot.
and you
You
know
know,
what? And we appreciate that.
Yeah, respect.
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 Forever.
You shoot your shot
For
for
sure.
the Avatar.
Shot.
Yeah.
For sure. And again, he lets himself wallow in his feelings, and then that
Not too
and
long.
then and then he gets
Yeah.
past it.
Then he
Not
gets
too long.
over it. Then he gets over it.
Exactly. So okay, that sort of takes us to this moment where Mako now has decided, like, shoes on the other foot, like maybe I do have feelings about you, and then this is really where the little brother. Let's just watch. We got to watch it because
Let's see.
BJ does such a great job of like, I love a funny cry and I love a like, it's real and it feels real, but it's also ridiculous. So let's take a look at this.
We need to talk. Look, sometimes you can be so infuriating.
Save your breath. You've already made it clear how you feel about me.
No, I haven't. What I'm trying to say is, as much as you drive me crazy, I also think you're pretty amazing.
Killing you.
Don't
Dante,
admit
this
to
is
it.
killing you right now.
You do like me?
Yes, but
Don't play with her, Mako.
I like Asami too.
Yeah, I like Asami.
Who wants to hear that?
He's just making it clear.
Sort it out first.
Not the kiss. Oh God.
It's like when Aang jumps at Katara in the Ember Island Players.
And Bolin. It's
Okay.
and Pabu's there.
Oh, not the
God.
Bolin, this isn't what you think. Great. Look what you did.
You're blaming me?
You kissed me.
You kissed me back!
I know what?
What did he think?
Hold on a second. Hold on one second. We can't blame it all on Mako.
Oh, I'm definitely cool with blaming you on Mako.
Was the majority
She kissed
of
him.
Yeah, but
She kissed him.
he met her on the
came-
gazebo thing.
He came out to her at a romantic spot.
That wasn't romantic.
And said,
And
okay,
said,
yes, I have feelings for you. She had already said how she felt. What did he think was going to happen?
He was. Did you see him backtracking? He was like, I do kind of like you, but I'm also with Asami.
and you know
You got to sort it out
So-
first.
Exactly, because you know what she's going to think is like, if I kiss
He's
him, maybe
feeling
he'll go.
something.
Yeah,
And then he
like
got
I should
kissed.
act on this.
Then he got kissed. What did
He kissed back.
He didn't. I mean,
Yeah, he did kiss
what
back.
are we supposed to do? What are you supposed to do if a girl kisses you? Like, it's disrespectful to not kiss back.
You can push her away. You can push her away.
Can't be pushing away. No.
Also, it doesn't
Avatar.
matter. He said that he had feelings. He said he had feelings for her. He admitted to her. It was out there, whether or not, whatever happened from
Asami,
there.
but he said, but
that's
Asami-
Still, because imagine this: if Bolin walked in before the kiss and just heard Mako saying, "Yes, I do have feelings for you," that would have been really complicated and hard to hear.
He was working
just
it
from that
out. He
point.
was working it out in the open.
Yeah, don't work it out in the
Working
open.
it out in the open.
Don't
Yeah,
don't
not
work it out
in the open.
Don't
working
work it out on the person
Don't
whose
be
feelings
just
are
jumping
on
in to kiss
the
people. Don't
line.
be jumping in to just kiss.
No.
Don't be just jumping in to kiss people. You like wait for the sign,
No.
guys. What are signs?
She thought that was the sign. She thought that was the
No,
sign.
no. There's signs. Look at each other in the eye. There's someone's gonna say, "Kiss me."
She grew up.
She's making a choice.
She grew up as being told she was the Avatar. Her whole life was about
what I'm saying. She jumped
training.
in. She
She
jumped in
didn't
too quick.
know.
She jumped in
Being
too quick.
bold, and he's being wishy-washy, and she just made a decision, and he hadn't made a decision.
For everyone out there who's gonna lean in for the kiss, and we've all been there. It doesn't matter if you're guy, girl. It doesn't matter if you're gonna lean in for the kiss. Wait for the sign.
I know. I don't disagree
Wait
with that.
for the sign.
I can't
Just
disagree
don't be
with that.
jumping in.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. You don't want to be kissing somebody who
You gotta
doesn't
wait
wanna
for
kiss
that
you back.
sign. And
Yeah.
you may be asking me right now, what is that sign? I'm gonna let you know. You'll know it when you see it.
It's a
And if you didn't see it, then don't do it. But if you see it, it's what it is. There's a thing. A girl or a guy, because I've also been kissed. You look at the person and someone's saying, "Kiss me." In their eyes.
Okay.
And if you
I
don't
think
see
we might
them,
live in an age where you're actually supposed to not wait for it in their eyes. Maybe you even.
you might have to ask. Wait for the sign.
But and I don't
case
and I
by
would
case
say-
basis.
Case by
And
case.
I would agree that Seychelle and I are saying also as a piece of advice: if someone says they like two different people,
Don't kiss them.
don't kiss them.
Don't kiss them.
Don't think that that's going to be the move
No, heck
that
no.
changes
Yeah,
their mind into
yeah.
thinking there's only one person for them.
Yeah, protect
That's
your
unlikely.
peace.
Protect
Yeah.
your peace.
Protect that peace for
It's
sure.
so uncomfortable.
I do not want
Poor
to.
Bolin.
hear someone saying that like me and someone else maybe
No,
equally.
yeah, no.
Right now.
No. That's a big, especially when you get the vibe of what Mako's all about. The best thing you can do at that point is be like, okay, I'm moving on.
I'm confused about Mako right now, you guys. It's my first time going through the show. And
He's a frustrating character.
And I
for
like
me.
Mako, obviously, because he's the big brother and he's a firebender. And he's winning matches. He's doing good stuff.
Yeah.
But now I'm confused. What's he doing? What's happening?
He reminds me of like people in my family, where it's kind of tough on the outside, but on the inside it's still
You're afraid of your feelings.
yeah, and like a softie,
And they did have a very rough upbringing, and he had to be the dad to his little brother.
Right.
And kind of try to guide them through the like getting involved with a gang who's like, having them do errands for they didn't have it easy. They didn't have it easy.
he's in uncharted territory right now.
You gotta keep
and
it to
he's-
yourself too, Mako.
he's-
Mako, you can't be having one girl and then try to like slyly confess into the other girls. Like, you're making this choice
It's
on
not
your
a
own
good
and live with it and rock with it before you can't be.
But it does lead to one of my favorite scenes in this, maybe in the entire series, which is Bolin and Pabu getting drunk on noodles.
Oh, yes.
It is so funny seeing Pabu draped over the noodle bowl. And then like
With his little belly.
Bolin with his belly so full of noodles. We've all had that feeling. It's like, oh, I'm so full of noodles, I can't move. And this is a shout out to Naruk's Seaweed Noodlery, which is water tribe food.
Okay.
Korra was very excited to go there. It doesn't go great, but it leads to some really good noodles.
Yeah, great noodles.
Even though he already had good noodles with Korra. Which, by the way, we totally glossed over the fact that that's the first time we meet Tahno, who, when they're on their date, when they're on their friend date or their romantic date, as Bolin thinks of it.
Oh yeah,
Then you have Tahno with
that
his
guy.
like swoop of goth hair
What's up with
and
Tahno?
and the people he
Tahno's
rolls
kinda
with.
hot.
Tahno.
Tahno's got something going.
Tahno got a vibe.
She
Tahno's a rock
calls,
star.
she calls him a pretty boy. He's a pretty boy.
Tahno's a rock star.
He's a pretty boy.
With an attitude.
Wait, I know what that is. Yeah, that's a son of losers.
He takes himself too seriously.
And let me ask this, and shout out to Rami Malek, who's wonderful in it, and who
Oh,
That was Rami
my
Malek?
experience of
That's Rami
working
Malek?
with him was he was so nice, and he was so.
He's got a
My
great
memory of
voice.
it was that he was very happy and excited to be, and I'm sure he would come on the podcast if he had time, and he wasn't winning Oscars, but and you never know, Rami.
And you never know.
Call me, Rami. But just a delight, and like really was like, I don't know. I don't want to speak for him, but I just remember him being very excited about like being a part of this universe, and that was very fun and cool, and that was pre Mr. Robot and all that kind of stuff.
And he's a wolf bat.
And he's a wolf bat. He does such a great job. I do want to say this. This is a little piece of advice to Tahno. If you think that calling the Avatar the Avatar is a sick burn, you need better material. It's not a sick burn. Why? Hey, Avatar.
Tell me, how'd a couple of amateurs like you luck your way into the tournament? Especially you, Avatar.
I'm like, that's what you got?
He did that in the mirror before he came out.
That's what you got? He did it in the
needed
mirror.
to soundboard
What can
it.
I say? I'm going to call her the Avatar. Isn't that great? It's not great.
He's a rock star. He's a rock star. He's living that rock star life.
Not a fan. Big fan of Rami, not a huge fan of Tahno.
I haven't seen many Tahno cosplayers out there, but
That's true.
I'm
I
looking
haven't
forward
either.
to it though. I'm looking forward. to it.
Yeah, that'd be fun to see. He's a dandy. He's a bit of a dandy.
He's a dandy.
Yeah.
That's the perfect
yeah,
word.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. I will say this.
That's gonna.
What about when we get back onto the pro bending arena and their vibe is
Guys,
not
this is
great?
why they say you don't date people you work with. You
Yeah.
don't date people you're on a team with.
No.
Simple.
You got to
Yeah.
keep it. This is a truism. It's gonna
I've always
cause
followed
problems.
that in my work too.
I have. I mean,
you
I
know.
haven't always followed it.
I mean, good guideline. But
Look at you backpedaling.
I followed it also mostly. Always followed it except for a few times, and it was
Never a great idea.
It's not a great
it's
idea.
it's complicated.
Yeah.
It's complicated. Don't
Yeah, it is showing itself in the most inopportune way, which is you need to be in sync with your teammates,
Right.
and they are most definitely not. But they are able to pull through.
Okay.
But it might be
Barely.
only because two of them get knocked out.
Yeah.
that the
Korra
remaining
can-
person is like, okay, well, I can now I don't have that distraction, so now I
Right.
can sort of show up.
Right.
And maybe that would have been true for either Bolin or Mako if Korra had gotten knocked in. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's definitely possible. But they're in the drink. Korra pulls through. She wins it for them, and then, everybody kind of like is seeing a little bit straighter after that, I guess.
I do like the noodle moment with the announcer when Bolin
so funny.
throws up the noodles.
And Bolin loses his noodles, literally. Which reminds me, this match is brought to you by our sponsor, Flamio Instant Noodles.
It's so good. It's so good. Let's take a look at that last moment that we were just talking about where Korra pulls through for everybody.
Let's see her. Let's see Korra do her thing.
Because there's a nice moment after that I think we should look at as well.
It's pretty epic.
With the Buzzard Wasps leading 2 rounds to zilch, the Ferret's only hope of winning is with a knockout.
Well, I guess there's always next year.
Come on, we still have a chance, even if it is a slim one.
The way we're playing, we don't even deserve to be in the finals.
Whoa, that's so
If
un-Bolin.
we don't pull together and work as a team, we'll never forgive ourselves.
Let's just get this over with.
The sooner the better.
She's trying to round everybody up.
10.
That's a lot. They are getting... Ooh. Oh,
Easy money. They out.
Oh.
Arm!
No.
Say that sign to Zane.
Mako's in the drink and out
In the
of the
drink.
match. And Bolin keeps playing with one good arm.
That
I
grit.
gotta hand
With
it to
one
him.
arm.
This kid's got grit. But how long can he keep it up?
Not long at all.
Get to the finals now. Rest
This is so rad.
But with 3 on 1, I don't like her odds.
There you go. All
We're
right.
brothers. We're brothers.
We're brothers
Are you
at the end of the
okay?
day.
How's your shoulder?
It's messed up pretty bad. But I think I'll be all right.
Oh, buddy.
Are we gonna be all right?
Of course we are. We're brothers. We'll get through this mess. I'm sorry.
Me too.
That's such a real moment.
Bolin, you don't have to apologize for anything.
Seriously.
What an unbelievable effort here by Korra. She's
Music
got
picking
every
up.
element the wasp
There she
throw at
goes.
her.
There she goes.
The Avatar finally gained some ground, but
Ah,
with only
sick.
10 seconds remaining,
Whoa.
it might be too little too late.
No, it might not be.
No. She's the Avatar.
Damn. Sorry.
Triple knockout. Triple knockout.
Good work, kid.
It didn't seem possible, folks, but the Fire Ferrets are headed to the finals.
They did it. And then afterwards,
Give her
if
her
memory
flowers.
serves, Korra does thank Asami.
If it hadn't been for you and your father, we wouldn't have had the chance to play. So thank you.
Yeah, okay,
Made it
yeah.
possible.
I did feel some type of
So
way, though.
she's
I
like-
was like, you did kiss her man, though. I don't know.
She's trying to mend fences.
But you did kiss her man. I was like, damn, you kissed her man. You're like, oh, thank you.
Korra feels like she
It's
was
messy.
there first. It's very messy.
We can't escape that
It's
fact.
can't. Yeah,
it just
no,
is.
It just is. It just is.
But
We've been doing this too long. Oh, Seychelle, you have to be here every week. This is so fun. Oh, yeah. So, again, I just, who doesn't have anything to apologize for sure is Asami. She has
No,
nothing to
Asami
apologize
has.
for.
Asami.
She also has no idea what's going
I'm
on.
feeling
No
bad
idea.
for Asami right now.
That's a good. No, I would.
I'm feeling bad
Would you
for
rather?
Asami.
Let me ask you this: would you rather be in the Asami position of not knowing anything, or would you rather know and have to deal with? Because there is a point. Foreshadow report, of course.
I got some. I do have some predictions.
I want to. Okay, and I do want to hear that. But I genuinely want to know. Have you guys? Would you rather know? I would rather not know.
I'm a big person for good naive, being
As
naive.
long as I'm not going to find out later and
I
look
like
like
to
an
not
idiot.
know.
I just don't want to. I just want
Yeah.
to keep not knowing.
I think I'd want to not know too,
I'm a
because
big not
knowing
knower.
it's so easy in my brain to pick apart
Yes.
everything, and when you don't
Yeah.
know, you just don't
Yeah,
know.
Yeah.
I'd rather not know.
Wait, none of
myself.
us want to know. Would you guys want to know?
Ignorance is bliss.
It is.
Because in actuality, a lot when people do things, when you grow up, you realize a lot of things that happen. It's never really about the person who gets their heart hurt.
Yeah.
It's not about that. It's not about
Yeah.
hurting them. It's about some other things they're doing.
Right.
Whoever.
And that was
you gotta.
Yeah.
It's hard.
collateral damage kind of.
Yeah, when you see friends do it, you can say, "Oh, they're doing because of this," and not. You think because your heart hurt, they did it to screw you over, but
Yeah.
that's not why they did it. They just
Yeah.
they had some other things they're working out.
Yeah.
So
where
I'd rather
they're
not
at.
know also.
Yeah. And they're getting through it. They are getting through it. It's a mess.
Yeah.
But like
Wow.
the fact that by the end of this episode,
Where are we
everyone
going
has
with this?
apologized who should, and everyone is like given respect and like, I like
4
it.
or 5, and this is
I like
a
it.
mess.
People are willing to apologize. I think that's.
You know, they just get into it so they can get through it, you know,
Yeah.
right away.
Yeah, exactly.
And not draw it out. I mean, there are things that get,
I
you
can't
know,
wait.
but-
I can't wait.
It's. I'm proud of him. I'm just saying I'm
Me
proud of
too.
I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him by the end of this. What did you think the spirit of competition was going to bring to the table? He's been predicting what he thinks each episode's going to be, and then we kind of revisit whether he was right or not.
Yeah, what was my prediction? My prediction was Korra was gonna get jealous of Asami, which is kind of
100%.
happened.
No, you're right.
Bolin was gonna swoop in
Nailed
and
it.
comfort Korra. Well,
Nailed
I know
it.
little brother. I know little brothers. I know your game plan, little brother. I know it. And then I thought we were gonna find out more about Amon. We found nothing out about Amon.
This was not
Amon
really
was
about
nowhere
Amon.
near.
It was a break from Amon.
There was a lot of stuff going on that I was not expecting.
Mm-hmm.
Not expecting that kiss. Was not expecting Korra to come in hot.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. She's Korra.
She comes in hot. She's pretty consistent.
And tonight's most valuable bender is...
I can still fight!
Who had the most valuable bending in this episode? This is definitely not a mostly life or death bending situation.
Pro
This is
bending.
pro bending.
It's Korra winning the match. Korra winning the
Korra pulled
match.
it through.
That water
That's an
bending
easy
move
one.
was
That's an easy one.
Korra winning the match.
And also she healed Bolin's shoulder.
Oh, she did.
Remember,
Yeah.
she came out.
I
She's
love
like,
the
I learned
healing.
from Katara. Let me,
That is
and she really helps him.
That's a great thing. I guess that's the
And
other
it's like
end of
she
blood
wa-
bending.
she
It's
wants
the other
to-
end of blood bending you can heal
And she's
them.
like, and by the way, let me help you with your shoulder. And then she quickly helps him out with his heart. Oh, just slides a little water healing over.
Did she?
And that's in my dream.
So here's a heart.
In my dream, she feels bad because she didn't want to hurt him. So, okay,
Did
all right,
you
that
notice
was
that
easy.
Bolin didn't lean in
That
to
was
kiss
easy.
Korra for no reason?
Okay. What about most valuable non-bending?
I have one.
Go for it.
We didn't see it, but when they're when Mako drags Bolin out of the noodle restaurant crying, Pabu does this move because he's too full to like walk on his, and he like kind of slides on his belly with his like legs all sprawled out. Yeah. To me,
I like that.
that's a strong non-bending move.
Strong non-bending move.
I'll
take it.
happily give it up. I would say it's funny you were to say that because I was gonna volunteer the possibility of Naga's really scary roar, like
That
throwing
was a
Tahno
good
back.
moment. I
So that's
That was pretty
two
good.
animal
That
moments.
was also very good too.
Very
yeah.
satisfying. But I'm very down to give it up to
Yeah.
Pabu because you know how I feel
Great
about that little
non-bending.
noodle belly.
Great
I always want to just rub the
non-bending.
belly.
Oh, so good. Very, very fun episode for that reason and many others. Stressful, yes.
My prediction is you can't really tell the future.
What do you think is going to happen in this next episode?
That's a
Episode
good
6 is
question.
called And the Winner is...
Okay, episode 6, and the winner is number 1, the Fire Ferrets win the tournament.
Okay.
That's off the, they're going to the finals, right? Number 2, Asami is going to find out about the kiss and gets upset.
That's a good prediction. Good guess.
And then number 3, Tahno is going to get embarrassed somehow. Somehow, some way, this fool needs to get embarrassed.
Interesting.
Be
careful what you wish for.
That's what I predict.
Be careful what you wish for,
That's
Dante.
what I predict.
That's a good prediction.
Those
It's
are good
very
predictions,
interesting.
yeah.
Those are good
I look
predictions.
forward to
Yeah.
revisiting these. Not looking forward to not having Seychelle here, but that's fine. We've got some great guests coming up. No one
worry
worry.
yourself.
No
Don't
one
worry.
worry.
Stay tuned.
But she might be back. She might be back.
Oh, she's coming back.
Okay, cool.
Oh, she's coming back. You heard it here and saw it here. She's coming back. Okay, so I feel like we covered hot. We had some Flamio hot takes. Flamio hot take
So
over
many
here.
hot takes.
We had a lot of hot takes about relationships. Surprise, surprise.
So many.
Relationship episode.
We'll
Yeah.
just make a series of
relationships. We
memes about those.
Big brother, little brother relationships.
Don't
Hierarchy.
Kiss someone. Do not kiss someone when they say they like someone else. Also,
Don't do that.
a lot
That's
of good
yourself.
takeaways.
Yeah.
A lot of good takeaways. Seychelle, we shall see you soon.
Thank
so
you,
much.
guys.
Thanks for joining the show.
You guys
Thank you
rule.
for being here.
This rules.
But I'll give you guys more harmonica warning next time.
Hey, coming in
Harmonica
hot.
convergence.
Yes.
Exactly.
Coming to a pod near you.
See you guys next week. dive deeper into the world of Avatar with more of our award-winning podcasts.
Avatar: Braving the Elements is available right here on the Avatar Legends YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts.
And catch more Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra on Paramount+.
That's the stuff! You are my hero!